How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the 1IQ Sports Talk YouTube channel. Brendan and Sterling coming at you for our Thursday night prediction. This particular week on the slate is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 3-1, taking on the Atlanta Falcons, 2-2. This should be a pretty decent Thursday night game, one of the first division rivalry Thursday night games that we've had so far this year. After the Falcons kind of up and down start to the season, looked fairly good last week against the Eagles. Bucks started the year really hot and sizzled out a little bit against the Broncos, but came full swing again last week. And this is going to be a good one.
It is going to be a good one. Yeah, I mean, the Falcons had another divisional matchup this Sunday against the Saints, where it was a slugfest back and forth between the two. They managed to squeak out the win there, and yeah, the Bucks were on a mission to redeem themselves after getting embarrassed by the Broncos, and they turned around and just slapped the shit out of the Eagles. And so that's promising for them. Like it's looking like the Bucks are in that position where you'll sometimes see teams where you go, oh, they can beat bad teams, but they can't beat any good teams. The Bucks are kind of the opposite. They're dominating the good teams,
Can't
and
beat the
then they
bad
somehow
teams.
fall flat against the bad teams.
Yeah, and the one thing that I really want to talk about with this Tampa Bay Bucks team is the play of Baker Mayfield. He has been spectacular. Like I would say if we were to have a talk about the MVP race today, if we had five guys, he would be in that talk. I don't know if I would put him at number one, two, or three. I'd probably slot him in as the fourth guy right now just because of how well he is playing. And I know a lot of people were kind of questioning that. I think it was $130 million contract that the Bucks gave him for 3 years. I looked at that and I said, no, we saw what he was capable of doing last year. He's only
Hmm.
more comfortable, and I think this is going to be a really really good year, and he's absolutely shown why he is who he is, and this Bucks team is really fun to watch.
Oh, 100%. He's got to be so happy that Mike Evans chose to come back too, because
Oh,
that's the thing.
undoubtedly.
Having Mike Evans there, it helps make your quarterback look that much better because he is very much Mr. Reliable these days. You can count on him almost every week for a touchdown and 70 yards. So he's very, very helpful for any quarterback. But Baker Mayfield, yeah, he's turned a corner in his career for sure. He's matured. He is much more confident and focused on the game as opposed to focused on celebrating.
Yeah, I see. I never had that issue with Baker Mayfield. I always thought he was very confident in going towards the game, but like it's just a different energy these
It
last
is.
2 years with Baker. I think honestly, I would say playing under Sean McVay for that half a season was really really beneficial for him because I
Yeah.
think Sean McVay kind of sat him down and went, dude, you're a great quarterback. Just play with some confidence. And then he goes over to the Bucks where it was basically, it was your do or die year. Either you played well enough to get a contract last year, or you just kind of fizzled out into irrelevance. And he played
Yeah.
fairly well. And it's one of those things where the confidence is there. He doesn't have that stink of the Panthers organization or the Browns organization anymore. And yeah, they are just playing very, very good football. But now the other team, that Falcons team, we talked about this Falcons team being the team that was probably going to be the team to beat in this division. Week number one, they ended up falling to your Pittsburgh Steelers, but that was such an anomaly type game. It was a great
Yeah.
defense going up against week number one for the offense that hadn't figured out. And I don't even know if Kirk Cousins had played during the preseason at that point. So it was just so hard to tell. Week two, you go out, get the victory. Week three, you get kind of slapped around and you almost got cheated out by the refs in that KC game. But last week, going out and getting the big win, like it's very very important. Again, New Orleans was not a pushover. We kind of looked at them after the first two games and we're like, damn, they're a top five team. Then fell in week number three, but they played a really good game. It's not like this was an easy game for the Saints to go out and win.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And Kirk Cousins is starting to look like he's much more comfortable, like that Achilles is fully healed. Because, yeah, as you said, that first week he was playing predominantly out of like pistol and shotgun formations, which we know he's not comfortable with. And you see him under center now. He's much more confident. His passes are on target. The question now has to be, do we get the old primetime Kirk Cousins, or do we get this new and improved primetime Kirk Cousins that we've already seen this year? And he's just going to turn it on against this Bucks team. This is a tough one to pick because both teams are kind of on an upswing, and both teams at this point have got to be looking at it going, we need to start getting a run going. We can't be doing this win one week, lose the next, win one week, lose the next, the bounce back and forth. One of these teams has to start stringing some wins together, and soon.
Yeah, and this game is also for the lead in the division as well. And
Hmm.
whoever ultimately wins this game will likely be the leader at the top of the division. And let's just say the Saints also win, then it's a three-way tie. But it's going to be really, really important. Whoever ultimately walks away with this one, I believe the game is in Atlanta. As I'm looking here, it is indeed in Atlanta. The Bucks are 2.5 point underdogs in this one, as Atlanta is the favorite. And this is one of those ones where I'm a little bit shocked that the Bucks are the underdogs, but I understand it because it's a short week and you're going to someone else's house. I think if
Yeah,
the Bucks were at home, they would probably be the favorites, but just the way that this Buccaneers team has been playing this year and the way that Baker Mayfield has been playing, I am leaning a little bit more towards the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kirk Cousins, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, so he's been prime for turnovers this year. And again, that prime time Kirk Cousins, we always made that joke. It started in Washington and it was evident throughout his time with Minnesota. And Baker Mayfield, he's one of those guys. When the lights are all on him, he seems to turn it up and play even better. He's kind of the opposite of Kirk Cousins because when the game is important and everyone is watching, it does seem like he plays better.
100%. Yeah, and I think you were right when you said the reason for that edge towards the Falcons is due to it being a home game. Because these teams thus far that they do appear to be pretty evenly matched. So the favorite was going to go to whichever one got to stay home for the week and not have to travel for the short week. So yeah, but I'm with you, man. I lean more towards the Bucks. They feel like they've got more confidence and they've got more swagger right now, whereas the Falcons still very much feel like they're feeling out what their identity is truly going to be throughout the season. And so, I mean, for myself, I am going to be taking the Bucks to win this game, which ultimately results in me taking them to cover the spread since they're the underdogs as well.
Yeah, a point that you just made there is that the Bucks aren't having to feel out their process where the Falcons are. It's a team that has basically brought in all the same pieces from last year, doesn't have any turnover, to the Falcons, who have a new quarterback, a handful of new receivers, a new head coach. Everything is kind of new, and so again, yeah, they're looking for that identity. But yeah, I am going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and there's for covering the spread for the Bucks as well. This is going to be probably one of the better Thursday night games that we've seen so far this year, because I would say the first 3 weeks or 4 weeks of the season have been good. I wouldn't say there's been any spectacular games, but I think this has one of the first opportunities to be really, really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Especially after last week was sort of the first lame duck one with the Jets and the Patriots. That was sort of the first meh one, I think, or that was week
Yeah,
3, I
that
believe.
was
Sorry,
week 3. This last
that was
week
week
was
3. This,
it
yeah,
was uh why I'm looking at the wrong week. That's why. It was the Bill, or not the Bills. It was, damn. It was the Cowboys versus Giants, and that was just
right,
kind of
right.
one of those
Yeah,
games that you
that
just
one
can
always
kind of
gets wiped
forget
from my
about.
memory.
Yeah, Like it wasn't a great game for Dallas, and it definitely wasn't a good game for the Giants. But
No.
this
Yeah. So this,
definitely has the making to be a good one.
oh, for sure. Yeah, this will be a good primetime game to kick off week 5. A lot of good games coming up this week as well. And so we'll be doing our picks on the remainder of the week when we reach the weekend before Sunday rolls around. So be sure to check us out for that.
But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. For Sterling, I'm Brendan saying peace, but make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on the video as it all helps out a ton.